What's going on? Welcome to Totally Blitz Podcast. We finna recap Monday Night Football Week 3 and, of course, break down Thursday Night Football and give out our picks and our prop bets. And go down, like, and subscribe. Comment your thoughts on the Monday night, the doubleheader of Monday Night Football between the Rams and Bengals and the Eagles and Bucks. And then give us your picks for Thursday Night Football, Lions versus Green Bay at Green Bay. And of course, these are your hosts for the show. I'm Paul Pick'em Win'em Concha, and I'm joined with.
You already know, man. It's your boy Kev, Water Boy's your boy, aka the Dom PYE, and I'm in this bitch with the beautiful Miss Mia Bella over here on my lap and shit. So, Paul, I had class yesterday, right? But I was watching the games indirectly Monday night. It was a vibe. I really did not want to watch this Bengals and Rams game because I know I had Joe Burrow starting in fantasy, and I'd already lost. I was okay with that. I just didn't want no more reasons to get mad. You feel me? So, what game do you want to start with first?
Let's just go down what happened first. We start with the NFC matchup between the Eagles and the Bucks, where both of us 2-0 on the Monday night games. Before we jump into the games, let me give out our record on this week. I won week 3. I went 11-5. And Kev, you scraped together a winning season. You went winning week. You went 9-7, thankfully, with those Monday night games and Sunday night games. And right now we're sitting at I'm ahead by one game, 29-19 to Kev's 28-20. So we had a back and forth. Kev was leading the first 2 weeks. I just took the lead, so it feels kind of good. I got to tout that, and I got to tout. I had 3 prop bets for Monday night. Went 2-1. And all of this was in this game. AJ Brown over the Cade, and the Chris Godwin under 6 catches. So in the game itself, I think it went exactly how I thought it would go. Like the Bucks finally ran into a really good defense. They finally ran into a team that wasn't like a push. Like the Vikings on paper are good, but they're 0-3 right now. We'll see how that win really weighs out. So I think that we finally got to see like the real Bucks and the real Baker. Baker didn't look too hot. Of course, he has the fourth quarter touchdown to Mike Evans to make things look better. But all in all, I feel like both defenses came to show up. Like Baker throwing interceptions and Jalen Hurts, I think, threw 2 interceptions. So like defenses came to show up and play. But the Eagles offense it's similar to like the Chiefs 49ers, not to that extent, but like even on an off day, they're gonna put up 21 plus. Like they just have too much talent and weapon.
Yeah, 100%. I seen a stat the other day. The Eagles are 21-1. 21-1 in the last 2 seasons. Jalen Hurts was a starter in the last 2 seasons. Like this Eagles team, after this game, they said that like they're still not having peaked yet. They're still like figuring things out. They're still working things out. We still haven't seen nothing yet. And the boys is 3-0 right now. So this Eagles team meshing, people like DeAndre Swift looking like a fucking monster.
RB1, a real RB1 over there.
Paul, you had me. I said Devontae Smith was gonna eat. You said no. This is AJ Brown's game to eat.
And Divas. Them Divas.
Yes. So they look good. They looked good. I respect it. And the biggest thing ever is this old line. They call it the tush push. Like you're not stopping these niggas on 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. That's not an issue. There's nothing you're doing against until somebody, and they do it to everybody. They did it in the Super Bowl. That tush push. That's like, oh yeah, we just gonna go right behind the asses and keep it moving. You know what we gonna do, and y'all not gonna do shit about it. So this Eagles team is just moving well, like a well-oiled machine. The Bucks lost. You know I love those. Love those.
You needed that. The whole division needed that right now.
I mean, we all lost this week. We started off 3-0. Now we all started off 2-0, and now we're all 2-1.
Except for the Panthers. Except for the Panthers.
Oh yeah, the Panthers. We forgot. We be forgetting they're in the NFL sometimes. But I mean, the Bucks are just showing that they're gonna just have more and more questions asked all season because motherfucking Baker and Chris Godwin, they're doing some Baker and Odell shit right now. Like we know that he fucks with Mike Evans. Mike Evans and him got the connection. They're gonna eat. Mike Evans can play with any quarterback. You can respect that. But the rest of this offense, there's nothing there, like not even slightly. And aren't they missing an O lineman right now too?
They are. Well, Jensen got hurt before the season started. He's basically gonna retire because he's already at like that stage of his career, torn ACL. It's like might as well just retire type shit. But I mean, the I just feel like the Eagle, like the Bucks. I knew like I don't have too much takeaways on the Bucks. I thought they were gonna lose this game. Like I thought, like yeah, the Eagles are just a better team here, defensively, offensively, but I think the biggest takeaway to me is like it's more on the Eagles side. Like yes, the Eagles put up 25 points. They got multiple interceptions from Baker, but Jalen Hurts can't throw two interceptions. Like this Jalen Hurts this year isn't the same Jalen Hurts of last year where we just didn't see many mistakes from. Like so like that's just my biggest takeaway on the Eagles is just like every like this game AJ Brown 8. We got the AJ Brown game everyone's been waiting for, but maybe they were trying to force too much to AJ Brown. I'm not too sure, but I just feel like the Jalen Hurts two interceptions kind of like moving forward. Is Jalen Hurts slowly turning into like Josh Allen? Not to that extent, but just a little bit more careless with the ball because he just like when people in offenses are feeling themselves, they're willing to do more reckless shit. And I don't want that because the Eagles last year, what made them so different was because they weren't doing reckless shit. Like they were literally just marching down the field, scoring points. Third, like you said, 3rd and 1, give me. 4th and 1, a give me. Like they just had a methodical offense that couldn't be stopped. And in this season, we see multiple games now where Jalen Hurts is throwing like kind of iffy picks that this isn't Jalen Hurts like.
Yeah, you think they're more like on based on the pull the trigger. They have more pull the trigger mindset versus
Yeah,
like
he's
get down
too
there.
comfortable. Before he was playing for his job because people was like, "Oh, is Jalen Hurts even a starting quarter? Is he even that good of a quarter?" Like he was playing for his job, and now I feel like his job is secured, and he might be trying to playing a little not to that same mentality that he had last season.
He, he got the bag too this summer, didn't he?
He did. It might also be the bag curse because right, everyone with the bag don't know how to act with the bag.
Yeah, that shit is real, man. I mean, we'll see what goes on for them. And I think you're right, because if this is the 49ers, those two interceptions are costly.
Yeah, that's what made the Eagles so deadly was because like you had to play a perfect game against them because they weren't gonna fuck up.
Yeah. Ask the Chiefs.
And now we're seeing a little bit of fuck ups, and it's just like, yo, like this isn't your brand of ball. What are y'all doing? I still think they're a top 3 team in the NFL. Like even with that all being
For
said,
sure.
with the way everything's shaken out, I think they're a top 3 team. Why? Offensive line, defensive line is going to eat every week. There's so much talent on this team where they're gonna, even with the mistakes, they look good.
My favorite part of this secondary.
Yeah, secondary going. Bradbury Island was full in effect for Chris Godwin. Like I said, it will be the Slay versus Evans show over there. Evans will do his thing here and there. I mean, he got like 5 catches, but it was like on 11 targets. So like Slay did his job for most of the point. Like there was a couple times he didn't, but like for most of the game he did his job. And a lot of the yardage did come in the fourth quarter when they're up. And then Chris Godwin, Bradbury just shut him down all game. Like that, like they defensive line is very talented. Jalen Carter already rookie season looking like a top 5 defensive tackle. Like
Yeah.
PFF grade, he's blowing up the inside. He got half a sack this game to finally get on the board with the sacks. Like he's looking like the next Aaron Donald, which is crazy to say.
I was say they're saying that this young they so this everybody's been rapping about the core four for the Steelers, right? Truthfully, not the Steelers, the Eagles. Core four for the Eagles. I don't know who the core four was, but they were putting a lot of respect on the young front seven. Like
It was Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, Hassan Reddick, Javon Hargreave last year. This year, Brandon Graham, Hassan Reddick, and Fletcher Cox. I know Fletcher Cox retired, I believe. So then they brought in somebody else, but then they got Devon Carter filling up the inside now.
no, that shit is crazy nice with it. But yeah, so shout out this Eagles team. They're gonna. I just want to see them continue to continue to gel and get back to their things. Figure out the balance of what they're trying to do between the pulling the trigger and the methodical, damn near perfect games. Figure out the balance between that shit because I want to see it happen. Well, what about this other game?
This other game, like I said it before we started, this game was a game on paper before the season started, a lot better before it actually came up. We had the
Mm,
versus the Bengals. Bengals get the win 19-16, a very tough game. Like defensive stout, there weren't a lot of big plays. It was just like good defense was being played, and then like honestly, I was more shocked when people scored versus when they weren't scoring. Burrow and you also said before we started, you shout out to Burrow. Burrow playing on the calf injury, and like it's not the same as like an ankle or an arm. Like people were explaining how like calf injuries will linger. Like that's not something that goes away in a week or two. Like you'll feel that for the whole season because you're not going to take the weeks off to actually recover.
Facts. And remember, motherfucking, that's that's his throwing foot too. That's when the foot
Plant,
that he plants.
put that power into it. Yeah.
And with people like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins on your team, you kind of need to plant a lot.
And I feel like I should have hit on this because I hit on it in the first game. I should have took a bet on this game. It's the diva syndrome. Like AJ Brown got fed this game in the first game we talked about because he was barking at Jalen the last game, and then in this game,
Coincidentally,
yeah, and then coincidentally, Jamar Chase is talking to the media, talking about we need to take more shots down the field. We need to get we got Ferrari, like we need to use me basically, put me in the game, coach. And this game, he gets this like 12 catches, 100 or something. We get the Jamar Chase game we've been waiting for.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I was hoping to see a touchdown too, but can't ask for everything. But I was hearing some stats that like Jamar Chase, like his rookie season, he averaged like 18.4, and then his next season, I want to say 12.7.
Yards per catch, I'm guessing you're talking about, right?
Yeah, yard per catch, and then you got motherfucking this year. I think he's averaging like 9.4. Like it's tough. It's tough.
And
It's tough.
to put into perspective with that, like Justin Herbert rookie season where he lit at the world on fire, he was like top 5 in yards per throw. And then last season when the offense was mediocre, he was last in yards per throw. Like that's the difference between a great offense and an offense is those average yards per catch, average yards per throw, all that stats.
Facts. So that's where like they're going through it right now with the Bengals. Like I don't know, the Bengals can go a lot of different ways, but they're gonna have to take their time and pray that there are no setbacks. But how do you feel like the game went?
Very defensive. Shout out Logan Wilson, I think his name was the one. He got 2 interceptions for the Bengals. I feel like Stafford played like that Stafford game that we like kind of been waiting for. He's been playing almost flawless football. Like people have been talking about he's got nobody out there and he's still putting up 300 yards. And then he comes into this game, maybe feeling himself a little too much. He gets 2 ducks up and out of there, 2 interceptions for the Bengals to the same guy too. And the Bengals took advantage of the field position. Jamar Chase is kind of unguardable like that. Like there's a Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. Like those are honestly the top, and Devontae Adams. Like those are the top receivers in the league, and it's kind of like a little bit of a jump between them and the next person. But Joe Burrow, he played well. I just think the Bengals are weird because you don't want to throw the ball all the time because then like the offensive line's getting tired because instead of them being able to run block and go towards somebody, they have to play defensive and get their ass hit all game. So you don't want to pass the whole game. But when they try to run the ball, they just don't know how to. Like they got talent in Joe Mixon, but it's just I don't know if it's the scheme, if it's the play calling, just at the wrong time. Maybe they have tails that the defense can read, like they can read the offense and be able to stop the run. But when they try to run the ball, it just doesn't work. Like even last season, like Joe Burrow is playing out of his mind for it to like not show. But like Joe Mixon is like he gets 1,000 yards, but he isn't the Ferrari of all these other 1,000 yard running backs. Like he's that the station wagon barely pulling up into the fucking
The
that's
hoopty.
Joe Mixon with the gaskets blowing up, and all of a sudden he gets to the 1,000 yard mark. Like, we did it, boys. We made it. We made it to our destination. I didn't think we would, but we did. And I feel like it's just kind of showing right now. Like, he's like, it's not. I don't want to say it's Joe Mixon's fault. He is getting older, but it just doesn't work. And you don't want to not run the ball because you need to get the defense to kind of come up to get the open shots downfield to work. But it just doesn't work. I don't know. That's something is one of my biggest takeaways.
No, that's fact. I heard some shit that the Bengals had the motherfucking, I want to say they threw it 50 times, almost 50 times, and only ran it maybe 20 times. Like, there's a big difference in the motherfucking in their rushing and shit like that. So they gotta figure, even with Joe Burrow hurt, they're still throwing the fuck out this bitch. So this offense is gonna be going through it all season long. But what about the Rams? My dog motherfucking Pakua, what that's his name, Pakua? He Puka. He had a average good game, 12 receptions, 72 yards, I think, or something like that.
I got to pull it up, actually. He had 5 catches for 72. You got the Jamar Chase stat flipping him.
Okay.
Yeah, but he had 5 catches for 72 yards. And, I mean, you got to come back down to earth eventually. Like,
Yeah. But that's still the record, the most catches in the first 3 games ever type shit.
and I think for them it was the Rams' woes was the offensive line, and the similar thing with the Bengals. That's why I feel like both offenses struggled is they couldn't get their run game set up. Maybe the defenses both came to show, but Kyron Williams, he didn't do shit. Like, Kyron Williams was getting stuffed like one every. You know how discouraging it is. Like, you're gonna go on first down to run the ball and you get like 1 yard, and you're like, fuck it, all right. And think of yourself as a quarterback, like, all right, fuck it, we're running on second down. Now you get another like maybe 0 yards. So now it's 3rd and 9. Where like now you're thinking to yourself, maybe if I would have threw a little short pass on first down to get 4 yards, we would have been a little closer. Like you know how discouraging it is to constantly give the ball to the running back throughout a 4 quarter game and then get like 1 or 2 yards and then know you only have 1 or 2 more plays to go get the rest. Like, so I feel like maybe the Cam Akers trade was a little early. If maybe like you didn't like you Kyron Williams had a good 2 games. First game where people thought Cam Akers was going to be running back, and in the second game when Cam Akers didn't even play and he got put him in, and he had a great game. And then next thing you know, Cam Akers is out the door after that great game. Like, I just feel like maybe Kyron. I don't want to say he's not that guy, but maybe I'll pull the trigger on a trade on like a really good running back a little early.
I mean, it's tough to call Cam Akers a good running back. I don't think he was good in that scheme. He probably is talented though physically, but I think it's interesting how they maneuver with Kyron Williams because Kyron Williams played 100% of the snaps. That's how thin their running back room is. So like, that's pretty crazy on the line. He's probably a good pickup for fantasy because like there's a chance
There's
that
no one else there. Like
there's if they need to run that bitch in the three at the three, if they're on the 3 yard line, they run that bitch. It's going to him for sure. Like, you don't got to worry about shit.
you don't have to worry about another running back coming in to steal like the pass catching work. Like, if he's gonna throw it to the running back, there's only one running back to throw it to. Like, you're gonna get 2 or 3 catches at least.
No, that's facts. But that shit don't matter at all if you can't motherfucking because this ain't no motherfucking PPR points per rush. It's only reception, baby. So if you getting a bunch of receptions, you're playing a bunch of snaps and not getting no production. That shit is tragic,
Just
especially when
look how bad these teams were. Look, third down efficiency for both teams. Rams 1 for 11, Bengals
wow.
5 for 17. Then you go down a little bit. Yards per pass, Rams 5, Bengals 4. Interceptions 2-1. Rushing yards 2.9 for the Bengals per attempt. Like, there was this no real offense, and then to my final point and to highlight is passing first downs for the Rams 12, rushing first downs 2. Bengals passing first downs 15, rushing first downs 5.
Huh.
Like one thing was getting you working and getting you to the next play, whereas the other thing wasn't working for you. Moving forward, though, Kev, do you see either one of these? Like, do you think this game was the game the Bengals needed to get that one dub to keep it moving? Do you think they're just going to continue to struggle, or do you? And same on the NFC side, the Rams. Do you think this was a bump in the road? They'll keep it moving and actually continue having like a productive season. And this is still without Cooper Cup. Or do you think the Rams like this was the game that showed their true colors?
Yeah, I haven't been a big believer in the Rams all season. I'm not definitely not gonna start now. I'm not gonna just dismiss them as if they're not a team that can do things to be in the talks. But their division is already hard enough. You got the 49ers and the Seahawks to worry about. Yeah, that division is tough. So like they got bigger fish to fry over there.
And how about the Bengals? Do you think this is the game they needed to get the wins rolling, or do you think that you didn't see anything out of them yet to even they were just still the same team moving forward?
I mean, this one was nice. It definitely probably helped their self esteem and like boost morale over there. Shout out Joe Burrow for playing on that hurt calf, risking a setback to make sure his team had a chance to win. But we'll just see if he as this stuff reoccurs as he continues to get healthy, even though the process is slow because of the season. And we'll see because the Bengals do start slow every year. We know that.
Yep.
But we'll see. We'll see if they slowly get better every week. I can believe in this Bengals team. I don't think Joe Burrow is winning MVP, but you can believe in this Bengals team. But if they're like going up and down, T. Higgins stays disappearing, like no sight of T. Higgins, like I don't know.
All right. Let's get into our Thursday night game. We got Thursday night football picks and the Thursday night football props. Where the fun fact, I've been last week props. I had a clean sleep, a clean sweep. I think I went 4-0 on my prop bets for Thursday night football.
Nice.
Thursday and then Monday night I went 2-1. So like on primetime games right now, 6-1 back to back weeks. I'm on a little heater, so stay tuned. We got the Detroit Lions going to Lambeau, Green Bay hosting them boys. Green Bay's a 1.5 point underdog at home to the Lions. Green Bay coming off a comeback win against the Saints. And whereas the Lions took care of business at home against the Falcons. Kev, I'm going to throw it up to you. How do you feel about this game going into Thursday night?
He just watched me eat a whole ass Oreo raw.
2 milk.
And to pass it to me immediately. Disrespectful. Exactly, he be doing me in America. Niggas in Russia would never do me like this. But you got to remember the last time we saw the Lions versus the Packers. Is the reason why it was the last game of the season last year. The Lions spoiled the Packers making it into the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers' last time at playing at Lambeau. And Randall Cobb, last walk off the field for Lambeau. You telling me they're gonna run this back? And I know Matt LaFleur and them is hot. I know they upset. I know they feel like, man, fuck these motherfuckers. We're gonna come fuck this shit up. But me personally, if I was Vegas, I would have put the line at 5. And I bet you still motherfuckers still would have betted that bitch. Because I like this Lions team to come fuck up the Packers.
So Aaron Jones probably is playing. Like he's looking to play. Romeo Dobbs will be playing again. And Kristen Watson, I believe, could be making his debut as well for the Packers. So that also is I forgot the note. Does that change your pick at all? Does it change your thought process?
I knew Kristen Watson. I didn't know Aaron Jones. But I'm not expecting great games out of them.
You think they're going to be used more as like decoys and like limited usage, or do you just think the Lions defense is coming to play?
I think they're finna go out there and do their thing. But I think it's Lions defense. I saw them neutralize my Atlanta Falcons last week. They
Took
finna come fuck
it.
some shit up.
Damn, I really was hoping we were gonna be split on this pick.
I don't know how. Like you're the one that was screaming on. The only reason why the Packers offense has scored so much against the Falcons was because of those two pass interference calls. I was
And
like, yeah, you're right. His offense ain't shit.
And on top of it, the Saints didn't have Derek Carr, and then that's when the Packers make their return. They also didn't have Jair Alexander out there against the Saints too, but I think he might be coming back as well. So like the Packers are getting healthy for this game, so that does worry me. But I just feel like I've seen more out of this Lions offense and defense together as a unit. I really think the Lions are going to come in and spoil. I just think Jordan Love, even with his weapons, ain't. I just don't like Jordan Love yet. He hasn't proven to me yet that like he's somebody that I really have to sit here and be like, okay, at home, Jordan Love is like the same thing Jared Goff proved to me when he went to the Lions is what Jordan Love's going to have to prove to me with the Packers. I haven't really truly seen it yet. I do like the Lions as well, and more. I just think where the Packers might struggle, maybe I think the Packers might struggle early, and whereas the Lions are going to come out maybe score early, and if it turns like 14-0 or 17-3 type shit going into halftime, getting near the halftime, coming out of second half, I feel like the Packers might abandon the run game a little bit more. And if they start abandoning the run game, that's like to me their whole bread and butter. If they don't have the run game going, we're gonna see an ugly Packers game. And I think the Lions get the dub here.
I think this Lions team is legit. I slept on them first game. I had to root against them last week. And then I picked them against the Seahawks. That's the game they lost in OT. But this Lions team is legit. This defense is fucking crazy. This motherfucking D line is fucking vicious. Like that's the best word for them. Vicious. Kicking asses and taking names. Like you feel me?
Kicking asses and taking names. I like that.
Yeah, this defense, these D line is gonna be my favorite thing to watch all season. I can already tell. So yeah, I'm back on my Lions. I've been drinking the Lions juice again, and I really got the Lions winning this one.
All right. Well, let's get I got a couple prop bets I'm gonna give out here. It's gonna be I got for the tight ends of this game, Sam Laporta, who's having a great ass season, Lions tight end.
I
Um,
gotta check. I gotta make a trade for him as we speak.
yeah, he's been killing it at tight end, definitely replacing TJ, a fellow Iowa player, just like TJ Hawkinson, and he's replacing TJ Hawk, and he's doing a hell of a job doing it. Definitely he's tight end one over there. People had questions coming into the year. He's having a great year. But I actually have his under, which is under 4.5 receptions. And I've been high on him all year so far, killing his overs. But this week, I think it's going to be an under for him just because I think if the Lions come out to a lead, they're not going to throw the ball that much. We'll see a lot of David Montgomery, Jamar Gibbs, Craig Reynolds. And if they're not throwing it too much, even though Laporta's a dog, I don't think he's going to get 5 catches. So give me the under Laporta. And also, he just had a great game. You can definitely see the Packers defense honing in on him for this week. And then on the flip side for the Packers tight end, Luke Musgrave, another rookie tight end as well, got the stash. But he was like a late round pick who actually showed up balling that training camp, so great. I got him over 3.5 receptions. I could see, like I said, I just think this game might be Packers trying to come back. They have to throw the ball a lot. They're throwing the ball a lot. I like Luke Musgrave, the number one tight end over there. Jordan Love's maybe safety blanket getting over 3.5 catches.
Nice, nice, nice. I do fuck with the tight ends on this one.
And then my other two would be for the quarterback, Jared Goff under 1.5 passing touchdowns. I think this is going to be a run heavy game. The Packers do have a great pass defense. Run defense is yet to really be shown. So I think we could, I mean, they did stop B. John and them boys, but that's also the Falcons' only really big threat is on the ground. So whereas the Lions can do both, I think we'll see a big run game here. And Jared Goff under 1.5 passing touchdowns. And then to wrap me out for passing yards, I got actually that Yeah, I'll take it. Jared Goff under 252 and a half passing yards. Again, I think it'll be a run-heavy game. Packers have a great pass defense. Jared Goff on the road doesn't typically show up that great as a passer. So I think we'll see a lot of run from the Lions. So give me the under on his passing touchdowns and passing yards. But
Yeah, this is crazy.
those are my four. Those are my four props. Again, 4-0 last Thursday night football, 2-1, 6-1 right now in back-to-back primetime games. So fuck with me. I'm out here picking winners.
I respect it, but you really don't think they finna throw these bits. I'm gonna sit there thinking like, they even the yards. Oh, probably dangerous.
Yeah, it's a correlated. These props are very correlated. It has to like if it has to go how I see it going for that to really work. Like if it comes out to be a close game, of course Jared Goff's gonna be airing that bitch out too. So I'm just you got to pick a path and just follow that path. And I just have those are the props are all correlated together.
Hell yeah, man. But we glad to hear 'em, man. Anything else for them boys?
Other than that, this is gonna be a fun Thursday night football game. I think. Like this year's Thursday night football is way better than last year so far through 4 weeks now.
Nice, nice, nice.
But that'd be it for me. Anything you guys say on these games or the recap before we head out?
I mean, I'm looking forward to this game. I like to watch. I'm low key watching the Packers like indirectly because I'm liking to see like, oh, this is a new era. We're getting to watch it changing the regard in real time, so it's kind of cool. So, but you know how I feel about my Lions. God and motherfucking see them boys win and see them boys shine. And this has been the Totally Blitz podcast, your mother truckers. We broke down the Monday night football game, the Thursday night preview. In the future, we'll probably be doing fantasy football on these episodes. Because I got to tell you about how my fantasy team is fucking up. But we'll get into that later. In the meantime, I need y'all to make sure y'all go tune into the boxing episode. We got Charlo versus motherfucking Canelo Alvarez in this motherfucker. No UFC this week. And don't forget, we're gonna hit you with the Thursday the Thursday recap and the full week slate on the preview. So make sure you stay tuned in, man. If you didn't know, I'm your boy Kev, Water Voice of Boy. I'm in this bitch with Paul Pickering, winner concert. And D don't mind telling you again that this is the Totally Blitz podcast and that you and all them dudes that keep eating out your bowl is a bitch.